Carroll Shelby's outrageously powerful Daytona Cobra Coupes have raced their way into that lead.
The Cobra Daytona Coupes are one of the few American vehicles that exceed that magic $1 million mark.
The Daytona Cobra Coupe is a particularly significant car. It's the only American car to ever win the World Manufacturers Sports Car Championship.
This particular vehicle, CSX 2601, is one of just 6 completed. 5 are well accounted for with private collectors. 1 remains mysteriously aloof with an unknown owner who's had the vehicle for many, many years.
These beautiful and rare cars were created in just 4 months.
And the guys that worked on it worked about 24 hours a day to get it done. And the car was completed and running by the end of January 1964.
Shelby saved time by using the Cobra Roadster as the car's base, but he needed a more aerodynamic body for sustained high-speed racing.
The Cobra Roadster, on high-speed tracks like they had in Europe and Daytona, ran into a brick wall at about 160 miles an hour aerodynamically.
Getting the body right was a challenge.
I mean, they didn't have the kind of wind tunnel equipment and the type of testing that they have now for aerodynamics. And everybody at that time was really fishing in the dark.
Shelby's team was surprised after the car's stunning first test runs at the Riverside, California Raceway.
All the guys really got pumped up because all along people looked at the car like, well, you know, this is a folly, it ain't gonna work.
When the car performed beyond their expectations, they painted it and packed it off to Daytona.
When we went to Daytona, we were the fastest qualifier. We were fastest in practice. Set new track records all the way through. When the race started, it was very close between the Ferrari GTO and ourselves. We ran together, but eventually we pulled away.
They were 20-some miles in the lead when the car caught fire and withdrew from the race.
Scared the hell out of everybody because there were like 55 gallons of gasoline in a drum that we were fueling from, and that was right over the fire. And if that thing would have exploded, we would have had a real mess.
Thanks to the fast work of the pit crew, no one was killed. But they had to work all night to clean up the car. There was a publicity photo shoot the next morning. They made it. 1 month later, they went from fire to rain when they raced at Sebring. This time, they won. It was the first in a long string of victories that took them around the world.
The Cobra team really created a stir in Europe and all over the world because it was an American team run by Americans with basically an American car.
In 1 year, the Cobra Coupes racked up enough wins to give the team the World Championship. And then they were retired.
You know, it's a very funny thing. After the 1965 season was over, these cars were put up for sale, and nobody wanted them. They were last year's race car. They had no value. God, if we'd known then what we know now, we'd have bought 2 of them and stuck them in a garage someplace and used that as retirement.
We all have our regrets, but there will always be new sports race cars out there that will climb in value.